All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Abhishek Kumar. The headlines. BJP leaders to meet Karnataka Governor and Assembly Speaker today in view of ongoing political crisis. Lok Sabha to resume discussions on Union Budget 2019-20. India-Russia Strategic Economic Dialogue to be held in New Delhi. In ICC Cricket World Cup, India-New Zealand semi-final to resume today after rain stopped and pushed the game into reserve day. And in Wimbledon, women's singles semi-finals lineup drawn. Men's quarterfinals to be played this evening. In Karnataka, BJP leaders will meet Governor Vajubhai Vala and Assembly Speaker Ramesh Kumar today. The party leader Arvind Limbavali informed this to media persons after the Legislative Party meeting yesterday. He said they will ask the governor to intervene as the government has lost majority and request the speaker to accept the resignation letters of MLAs without delay. Meanwhile, the political activities took a new turn as the speaker yesterday said that only 5 of the 13 resignations by dissident MLAs are in right format. He informed that 8 MLAs whose formats were found incorrect have been asked to resubmit the resignation letters. The 5 members are being called for personal hearing on coming Friday and Monday. 10 rebel MLAs from the Congress-JDS combined have written to the Mumbai Police Commissioner expressing fears of threat to their lives during visits of Karnataka Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy and Congress leader D.K. Shivakumar in Mumbai today. The letter stated that the MLAs are not willing to meet the 2 leaders and wanted the police not to allow them to enter the hotel premises. The Lok Sabha will today resume the discussion on the Union Budget 2019-20. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman is expected to give a reply on budget discussion. The BJP has issued a 3-line whip to its Lok Sabha MPs and asked the members to be present in the House. In the lower house, Human Resource Development Minister Dr. Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank will move the Central Universities Amendment Bill 2019 to amend the Central Universities Act 2009. Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad will also move the New Delhi International Arbitration Centre Bill 2019 for consideration and passing. The second India-Russia Strategic Economic Dialogue will be held in New Delhi today. It will be held under the chairmanship of Niti Aayog Vice Chairman Rajiv Kumar and Deputy Minister of the Economic Development of Russia, Timur Maksimov. The meeting will focus on 6 core areas of cooperation, including development of transport infrastructure and technologies, agriculture and agro-processing sector, and small and medium business support. The first dialogue was held in St. Petersburg in November last year. Union Minister of Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal has raised concerns about India's trade deficit with Indonesia that stood at $10.57 billion in the last financial year. Mr. Goyal said the balance of trade is heavily in favor of Indonesia and both countries need to work towards establishing sustainable trade by diversifying the export basket. The minister held a bilateral meeting with Indonesian Minister of Trade Ingrathiasto Lukita in New Delhi yesterday. The meeting took place on the sidelines of the Troika meeting with ASEAN trade ministers. The Commerce and Industry Minister has said India looks at Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership RCEP as a logical extension of its Act East policy. Speaking at the India-ASEAN Troika Trade Ministers meeting for informal consultation on the ongoing RCEP in New Delhi yesterday, Mr. Goyal said RCEP holds enormous potential for economic growth and stability for the entire region. The Commerce and Industry Minister said there is apprehension and pessimism in Indian industry about the impact of previous Free Trade Agreements FTA. Mr. Goyal emphasized on adherence to the RCEP guiding principles to balance high ambition on goods tariff reduction. Mr. Goyal also stressed on possible mechanism to address persistent and wide imbalances in trade to give comfort to stakeholders. The meeting was attended by representatives of Thailand, Indonesia, ASEAN and Trade Negotiation Committee Chair of RCEP, Iman Pambagyo. Centre has requested all states and union territories to provide their tentative comments on the National Education Policy document by 31st of this month. Human Resource Development Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank said this yesterday while chairing the National Workshop on 5-year Vision Document and National Education Policy in New Delhi. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, follow us on Twitter @AIR News Alerts. Several parts of northern and northeastern India are receiving incessant rain for the last few days. India Meteorological Department has forecast heavy to very heavy rain in many parts of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar for the next 2 to 3 days. Our Lucknow correspondent has filed this report on spread of monsoon in the state.
It's raining gold from the sky for the farmers of the state who were waiting for the monsoon eagerly. The torrential rain from last 48 hours in the state has accelerated not just the sowing of paddy, also the sowing of dalhan and tilhan crops in Bundelkhand area, which is considered as a dry patch. Heavy rains disrupted normal life in many cities where reports of wall collapse, roads caving in, traffic stalls, waterlogging and flash flood are coming. In last 24 hours, highest rainfall was recorded in Kanpur. Sharda River in Lakhimpur Kheri district is flowing above danger mark. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
In Bihar, monsoon is active across the state for past 3 days as the monsoon trough line is passing through the state. Some parts received average 70 mm rainfall in 3 days. Water level of Gandak, Bagmati, Ganga and Kosi rivers have touched the danger mark. A report.
Flood alert has been sounded across the Indo-Nepal border in Gandak riverine area in West Champaran district after release of 1 lakh cubic water from Valmiki Nagar Gandak barrage. Teams of NDRF has been deployed in flood-prone areas for relief and rescue work. Low-lying areas of Patna and other cities witnessing heavy water logging. Dharmendra Kumar Rai, AIR News, Patna.
In Arunachal Pradesh, landslide and flash flood triggered by the incessant downpour have disrupted surface communication in many parts of the state and affected the life in capital Itanagar. In East Kameng district, Kadia village has been severely affected by flood water. Many houses, granaries, agriculture land, piggeries and other properties are damaged and washed off completely. India has said that it is committed to expeditiously complete work on the Kartarpur corridor so that pilgrims can have easy, smooth, secure and safe access to Gurudwara Kartarpur Sahib throughout the year. Sources in External Affairs Ministry said a state-of-the-art passenger terminal building is being constructed by the Land Ports Authority of India. The assertion came after a media report that India is lagging behind in completing the work. A 4-lane highway connecting zero point of the Kartarpur corridor up to National Highway 354 is being constructed by the NHAI. Issues related to providing facilities for the pilgrims, including allowing larger number of pilgrims to move across the corridor and other modalities for the Kartarpur corridor, would be further discussed at the forthcoming meeting on Sunday. Since the start of annual Amarnath pilgrimage, over 1,21,000 pilgrims paid obeisance at Shivling at Holy Cave Shrine in South Kashmir, Himalayas. On the 9th day of the ongoing yatra yesterday, over 9,500 devotees had a darshan at the Holy Cave. The 46-day yatra commenced on 1st July and will conclude on 15th August. In Gujarat, Kutch district is gearing up for rainwater harvesting in a response to a personal letter received from the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. In the letter, Prime Minister had requested all 620 village chiefs, sarpanchs, to conserve rainwater during the forthcoming monsoon. Here is more from our correspondent.
Suresh Changa, village pradhan and sarpanch, Kunaria Gram Panchayat says deepening of village pond is completed and rainwater collection structures are erected.
प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो आह्वान किया उसके लिए हर एक ग्राम प्रधान ग्राम सभा में ये लेटर पढ़ेंगे. हर एक खेती खलिहान से जुड़े हुए लोगों को बोलेंगे कि आने वाले दिनों में बारिश की हर एक बूंद है अपने भूस्तर में संचयित हो.
Iqbal Ghanchi, village pradhan Mota Angya Gram Panchayat said water has always been a scarce resource for Kutch.
बारिश के जल संचय के लिए प्रधानमंत्री जी की अपील हमें मिली और हम इस और कारगर काम कर रहे हैं। सबसे पहले जब बारिश आती है तो उससे 2 महीने पहले हम प्लानिंग करते हैं कि कैसे पानी को ज्यादा से ज्यादा हम जमीन में उतारा जाए। और अभी हमारे 2 तालाब की खुदाई की है और ज्यादा से ज्यादा पानी जमा हो उस तरीके की सहभागिता के स्वरूप से सब लोग गांव के साथ आते हैं।
Being a rain deficit region, Kutch district is being provided Narmada waters through pipeline, but sustainable solution is to harness rainwater. With Jagdish Patadia's report from Bhuj, Ankush Vats, AIR News.
The National Film Archive of India (NFAI) has acquired a rare footage of the iconic 1948 Marathi film Vande Mataram, in which legendary writer and playwright P.L. Deshpande played the lead role along with his wife Sunita Deshpande. A VHS cassette containing about 35 minutes of footage of the film was donated by Sunita Deshpande's nephew Dinesh Thakur and film historian Satish Jakardar. Another donation include 2 U-matic cassettes of about 1 hour duration containing rare footage of Mr. Deshpande playing harmonium accompanied by Lalji Desai on tabla as part of the crew of Varya Varchi Varat, a very popular comedy play. In UK, the House of Commons has voted by the thinnest of margins for a process that would make it more difficult for a future Prime Minister to prorogue the Parliament. Once the Commons has been prorogued, all motions that have not been answered or bills that have not obtained royal assent will not progress any further. Tory MP Dominic Grieve wanted to amend the Northern Ireland Bill to stop a future PM forcing through a no-deal Brexit by suspending Parliament. It could provide a tool for MPs to block a no-deal Brexit in October. And now news from the ICC Cricket World Cup.
Rain played the spoil sport at the India-New Zealand semi-final at the Old Trafford in Manchester yesterday and pushed the match into its reserve day. Struggling New Zealand were 211 for 5 in 46.1 overs when the rain forced the on-field umpires to put down the bails at around 6:30 in the evening. After 4 hours of consistent shower, even the minimum required 20-over play was not possible under the Duckworth-Lewis method. It means the Black Caps will resume their innings at 3 p.m. today and Men in Blue will have the full 50 overs to chase. If a 20-over per-side match cannot be completed even today, India would be through to the final having higher points. Mixed weather conditions have been forecast for the day with sunny intervals and some showers. Fans should keep hold of their ticket as they will require them to enter the stadium on the reserve day. Tripti Srivastav, Sports Desk.
In Wimbledon, Serena Williams, Simona Halep, Barbara Strykova, Elina Svitolina cruised through the quarterfinals of women's singles last night. Serena Williams will clash with unseeded Barbara Strykova of Czech Republic tomorrow. Barbara entered the semis, defeating Britain's 19th seed Johanna Konta. In men's singles quarterfinals, that will be played today. While Serbian Novak Djokovic takes on Belgian David Goffin, Roger Federer clashes with Kei Nishikori of Japan, and America's Sam Querrey will play Rafael Nadal, and Argentina's Guido Pella meets Spaniard Roberto Bautista Aguirre. And now for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to Anuja Kumar.
Thank you, Abhishek. Political turmoil in Karnataka continues to grab headline space across newspapers this morning. Breather for coalition, headlines the Statesman, adding Karnataka Speaker refuses to accept 8 inappropriate resignations, gives rebels time. 8 letters not in order, says Karnataka Speaker, writes the Hindu. Writing on the government's second major reform on labour, the Hindustan Times writes, after wage code, labour safety on cabinet table. On the illegal migrants issue, the Hindu informs SC to decide if illegal migrants can be given status of refugees. CBI searches 110 sites in pan-India anti-graft raids, writes the Pioneer. The Tribune on improved sex ratio in Haryana writes, big leap by Haryana on gender ratio map. And finally, the secret to tasting wine like a professional, spitting, reads a headline in the Times of India that reports of this strange wine testing method in France. And with that, it's back to you, Abhishek.
Thank you, Anuja. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. BJP leaders to meet Karnataka Governor and Assembly Speaker today in view of ongoing political crisis. Lok Sabha to resume discussions on Union Budget 2019-20. India-Russia Strategic Economic Dialogue to be held in New Delhi. And in ICC Cricket World Cup, India-New Zealand semi-final to resume today after rain stopped and pushed the game into reserve day. With that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.